Well, look at this. Isn't this a fucking nice surprise? You know, there's one of these in my area in Montreal where I live in Hochelaga, a few streets over, and I just saw it this morning. The guy looked like he cleaned it yesterday. I even had armor all in the tires. The thing was spick and span. And here is the same car. Well, not the same car, but the same example. About the same years. Looks like what? 90, 91, 92, 93, 93. But that looks to me like original paint. And this part here is all faded out because this is all plastic, you know, plastic years. These were not great cars, and they're kind of a joke, but I think what's cool about a lot of cars that were not great and not tremendously remembered, I mean, you know, you compare it, let's say, to a Fox body Mustang, there's fucking raining those cars, or Trans Ams, but it was a stylish car, and there's very few of these cars remaining. That's what makes it all the more interesting. It's got the spoiler in the rear, look at that, you got your T-top roofs that come off. Glass roofs, nice mags that fit the car. The mags are everything. The gentleman's smiling here because, you know, I'm a character, eh? Okay, I don't know about that big pipe there. Meh. You know what would be really cool, actually, is if this thing had a V6, because I think almost all these cars came with inline fours, and I think they were all Mitsubishi motors as well. And they were good motors until a certain point, and but I don't know much about these cars, really, you know. It's kind of funny because, you know, this car is over 25 years old, and yet it's next to a building that's even much older, but the whole building I can see was all redone. Just like so many buildings in this part of the city, here in the Pointe Saint-Charles area. And I don't think this car's from here, probably, because it's got the front glass that's tinted. That's like a no-no in this part of the world, ever since there was a cop that was shot in the western part of the city, I think one time during a traffic stop, and yeah, guy rolled down the window, poof, just fucking died, just like that. That's a neat sighting, man. That's it's amazing as I'm getting older how much I'm noticing I'm changing, you know, in my taste for old cars in general, because I still love the stuff from, you know, the 70s and under, but now the 80s and 90s stuff is fucking really old. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to film everything from that time. You guys, you know me well. That's a nice touch here, by the way, on the raised hood here. I actually wonder, was that maybe for a turbo, I think. But, yeah, it's, what was I saying now? Yeah, so there's a lot of these cars now from this time, like these, right? The Dodge Daytona. The Dodge Daytona and the what was the other one again? The fucking Plymouth, oh, geez, the Laser. The Laser, yeah. And there's yeah, these came out in '84, you know, and yeah, it's really I'm sorry to say this is one of only two I've seen that I've been able to film. I might have seen another one somewhere else, but of course the older models had the 4 square headlights right there. But try to find one. I got a feeling those were probably the worst ones, because you see, again, we're talking about a car that was made for about 10 years or so, and at that time, often, like any manufacturer, if they make a certain model without really changing it for that long or longer, they often can perfect the vehicle and work out all its bugs and defects, you know? So you take, for example, a 59 Chevy, whatever, Impala, Bel Air, Biscayne, and they made for only 2 years in that style. Was it really a good car? Of course it was a good car, it was a GM, but man, do those fucking cars rust like crazy. Anyway, so I hope you liked it, and adios, bye-bye.